Hey there, my name is Dan Tubman. I'm really pleased that you are using this resource today. And what I'm going to do is outline, first of all, some steps I think we can go through to grow a successful business. I'll also outline the same steps or a similar set of steps that you may well provide for your clients too. And hopefully make the point that it's not just about having a method or having a process that people go through to improve themselves or to attain a certain level of performance. It's about the support that they receive in the same way that you provide support for your clients. I want to talk about at the end how maybe I can provide some support for you. Look, it doesn't really matter whether you're just starting out or whether you've already got a business or whether you've only just recently got going. I think there are some principles and some strategies in what I'm going to deliver today that will really help. Look, I've been doing personal training and teaching personal trainers and delivering coaching and business courses and seminars, webinars and writing books for a long time now. So I've certainly seen trends come and go, and I certainly believe that there are some principles and there are some key things that I think all businesses need to do well to prosper. So let's get straight into it. The first item that I really wanted to address with you is how important it is to, first of all, before we do anything else, is to define the level of income and the lifestyle that what we really want to lead. Look, there's two ways of looking at business. Either you serve it, i.e. you own little more than your own job. You haven't got a boss as such, but you really just work the hours that you've got to work. There is no additional income when you're not working, and it really is a job that you own, a personal training position. It's just that you pay your own salary. The alternative, you see, is we don't own our own job, we actually own a business, and therefore we get clear on how a business must serve us. But in order for a business to serve us, to provide for us what we want, we need to first of all clarify what we want. So we need to define what a business must do for us, how it must perform, and we do that by getting clear on what kind of life do we want to actually lead. Because if you say you want to be able to travel, then that's going to dictate a business that's probably got a start, a middle and an end to a program of some kind, and then a gap so that you can travel and do whatever you need to do, and then a repeated program. You might have 6 or 8 of these a year, or it might be an online business. Whereas if you're saying, well, no, what I really want my lifestyle to be is I want some stability, I want some presence in my community, and I really want to feel part of the community in which I live, then again it might be more of a studio, more of a well-branded mobile personal training business that you're trying to create. So we need to try and get clear on the kind of life or lifestyle that we want to lead. We then of course need to make sure that we're clear on the income that we want to earn, and too many personal trainers, I fear, conclude things like, well, I'm not in it for the money, and therefore I won't define any kind of financial outcome, and therefore I'll probably drift, unfortunately, for many months and years, falling short of what truly is an amount that maybe unconsciously you know that you really want to earn, but until you declare it and chart it on a whiteboard where you spend some time, your home study or your office or even your bedroom, we're not going to be driving with all guns blazing in the right direction. So step one very much is just to try and spend some time getting clear on how much do you actually want to bring in, how much do you want to actually profit, how much savings do you want to actually put away over a year, 2 years, 5 years, for your business to truly serve you. What's the lifestyle that you want to earn for it to serve its purpose too? The second step is we then need to create obviously our model. We need to refine the actual business model that we have so that when we sketch it out, rough, good enough, we need to be able to see that, yeah, actually at fullish capacity, it's going to generate an income that makes me smile. It's going to do it for me, and I can see that my lifestyle and the way that I will spend the hours in the day that I have each week and each month are going to be good ones. Another example, if you want an online business because you want to lay on the beach all the time, we've also got to figure out that that's also going to mean that you're going to be on social media probably quite a lot. You're going to have to become pretty savvy with digital marketing, and you're going to be spending a lot more time probably on your computer with that kind of a business than, for example, a mobile personal training business. And that's why, I mean, we've really got to get clear on what we really want. There's lots of ways we can build. There's lots of strategies I'll share with you, how to get clients, how to create sales systems. But fundamentally, these first things need to be in place. These are the big rocks that are really important. As we get clear then on the model, we next need to develop or redevelop the actual products and services accordingly. That is, now we've defined what we want to do and how we want our business to perform, we now need to create probably a signature package. That is, when we work out what our strengths are, what we really want to accomplish, we're probably going to try and create something that's very special. That is our lead package or product that we sell. You don't have to have packages at all. I'm just saying that's probably for most people what they're going to create. Now, you might instead tailor some kind of by the session coaching program, meaning instead of having a pre-configured package, it may well be that you want people to very clearly see this is the cost per session, that perhaps you have a first session that's complimentary for people to actually get to know you and for you to get to know them, so you've got the right match. But after that, it's about tailoring the right package to that client's needs. So you together decide how many times a week and for how many weeks the person needs some kind of coaching or training to be able to get a set result. In the same way you would do this with a physiotherapist. If I went to see a physiotherapist, I don't expect to buy the knee package or the hip package or the broken arm package and it to be pre-configured for me. I expect someone to be able to sit down with me and look at my x-rays and have a look at the injury itself and then tell me and talk to me about the kind of rehabilitation that's probably needed for me then to talk with them what my availability of time is, in this case also probably my finances, and to come up with an appropriate program. That's what I'd expect. So again, there's nothing wrong with going down that road. It's just if we're going to go that road, I think we need to do it very well so that we avoid that whole trading time for money in a more negative sense, meaning people are just buying your time, you're not feeling engaged and really driving a definite result. Instead, if we get the result clear first that the person is trying to accomplish by talking well, not just selling it online and not even knowing the person that's bought some personal training from you before they buy it, this can really work. We can equally, instead of the first two, do a monthly subscription where we can have people come along, they can taste or trial a week to get to know how we work, to get to know how the environment is that we do what we do, and they then decide to train once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week or 4 times a week. Perhaps you may have a once a month, once a fortnight option 2, and it may be 1 hour sessions or 30-minute sessions. Again, there's some decisions that need to be derived, and this is like a monthly subscription. The person doesn't have a beginning or an end. It is a rolling contract that they're signing up for. It might be instead that you've got some specific packages and you've created some specific smaller packages than this idea of a signature package that are designed for specific markets. You do not have to have one market. The downside of niching all the way down to having just females in their 40s that are frustrated with their weight is that might not do it for you in the long term. Meaning there are some personal trainers and some people that like the idea and will embrace more having in a typical week some sporty type of clients that they really enjoy working with, some women in their 40s that they like working with, and maybe even some golf clients that they enjoy working with. That we can create specific packages. It's just if we're going to do that, we need to be very specific and strong in the way that we create these other packages, these themed packages for clients. And we can create a 4-week block of weight loss, a 4-week block of sports, a 4-week block of rehab, and we can do that. We might have specific groups that we target. So we might have as specific as a diabetes group. So this might be a specific 10-week program where you've got the right education as well as the right sort of training and nutrition in there for people to refer into confidently, because the way you've created that is to be budget sensitive and specific to that particular target market's needs. There's lots of options. The key is to do the work above, define your income, define your lifestyle, create the model, a business model that you're going to run with. We can then more skillfully select the right approach that is going to fit that. Once we've established either our signature package or our tailored per session coaching or our monthly subscription or our specific packages for target groups or our specific groups with more clinical or very specific needs for referral, we then can start to think about those markets, defining who these people are, getting clear on what would characterize them, getting clear on why they choose us. So we need some overarching business principles or some business ethos probably that will connect these things that we're creating so we don't seem bitty. And that's probably going to be around you and your unique personality. It's probably going to end up being a personality-based business, and that's okay. It's absolutely okay. We just need to be clear on the way that we're doing it so we can then start to work out what the pains and pleasures are for these different packages or categories of personal training that we've created. Meaning, if we've got a golf conditioning package, we need to be clear on what are the problems that golfers that we think are going to buy this 4-week block of golf conditioning are experiencing right now. What are the pleasures? What are going to be the benefits of them doing it? And this is not a difficult activity, but that is something that we need to go through. If we've also got a weight loss program, which is going to be an 8-week kickstart program, again, we need to be clear on who are we trying to attract to that program, what are their pains, what are their pleasures that they want to gain from doing this program, so that we can clearly present the benefits. It might be that we have a back care program or referral program. Same thing, we define the sort of program that we want to offer, we get clear on who we think is likely to buy that so that we can work through what will be some of the pains that they're currently experiencing, what are some of the pleasures that they really would like to experience instead, so that we can make it clear what the benefits are of choosing that particular program. We just need to do this and make it clear in as fewer words as possible. As we move through that, 5, we need to clarify precisely how our products and services are therefore a solution to the markets that we've targeted. And therefore, we come up with a bit of a statement. We get this clarity that this particular program or product is going to provide this outcome to address these needs, to provide this pleasure or remove this pain. So we come up with a bit of a statement so that we position this clearly as a solution. And when we have that, and for some people listening to this or watching this, this might be as simple as looking at what you currently got, checking whether you've written more features of it, as in what it is, versus how what it is provides benefit to the people who buy it. And we're going to be able to move forward confidently. Because 6, we need to create then our compelling message. We need a compelling message which is probably an overarching message which is about ourselves and how we serve the people that we serve. Example, if you've got several markets, it may be the level of results focus that you have that's particularly unique, and that's what needs to be expressed clearly, or customer care, or friendliness, or the fun factor. So you've got to define and work a little bit as to what the branding of this business is really about. But then we also might need to make sure that we've got clarity in terms of this messaging around each part, because it might be you have a specific social media feed or a Facebook ad that relates to only one of these, and that's okay. It just needs to go to the relevant page that talks about just one of your products, leading someone to obviously make a buying decision, rather than being generic in our actual advertising. You can be more generic in what you actually do as a trainer, but we might need to be more specific in the actual advertising that we do to create clients. Number 7, we decide how we're going to position ourselves strategically, meaning are we more highly priced? Are we more of a high ticket, as people call it, type trainer or coach, where People can expect high quality, they can expect and are told very clearly this is about creating a result for you, but actually when it comes to it, the actual prices people pay you are significantly greater than other people doing similar things maybe in your community or around the place. Or are you positioning yourself as the kind of cost-effective solution provider who has tailored a model to make accessing the expertise and the support that these people need affordable? An example that is a small group personal training program where you've built in really great content, great nutrition content, great exercise content, some great videos behind the scenes, some email or Facebook support as people go through a program. But because you've created a small group model, it's actually very cost effective for people, as in they're not paying anywhere near traditional personal training prices, but they're getting far more than a traditional one-on-one personal training service. As we position ourselves, we're then going to need to create our marketing strategy. Not just do some advertising, but to sit down and think, okay, now I've got clarity as to what my products and services are, or I've refined them so that the benefits also of these products and services are very clear, and I'm clear on who these people are and what pains and pleasures they're trying to get rid of or attain. I'm now going to work out how would I best target them. What's the Facebook or the flyers or the posters or the webinars or the seminars or the, there's lots of ways of doing this. We need to select our way, and we need to make sure the way that we select isn't based on what other people tell us is supposed to work, because that changes. You must have seen this. It changes by the week, and it will drive us nuts. Staying on social media, being online, trying to find the latest and greatest thing. Instead, we should recognize what we're good at. We should recognize what we're going to be able to see through, and we should play to our strengths in the way that we select a strategy to be able to market. We then, number 9, need to select our sales system. Our sales system can be any one of a number of systems. You can have a free trial, a week or a 2 week or a longer period, whether that's online or whether that's offline, for people to be able to get a feel for you before they make a buying decision. You can create a complimentary offer of some kind, but don't just be ordinary. Think clearly about the people that you're actually trying to engage with. What would they most benefit that if you offered it for free they would snap your hand off? That's what we really want to work out. It can be that you have a webinar for people to come to and then a Skype appointment. It can be that you actually engage people in a more of a Skype call right from your website. You're probably going to have a different sales system if you've got a face-to-face business or more of an online business. But we've got to create a sales system. The alternative is we have no system at all, meaning we make some sales, as in some people start with us, maybe some friends and family, maybe some acquaintances, but it's haphazard. That sometimes it's working well, other times it's not, and we get these ups and downs. And I think instead what we want is consistency. We'd like to know that, once we've got to a reasonable level of training, let's just say 10 to 15 hours of regular work that's on brand, as in consistent with everything I've just talked about so far, not just any old people. You've got the right people and the right amount of money they're paying for the right service and therefore outcome, that we can have consistently 3 or 4 new prospects a week, to get 1 or 2 new clients a week, to grow over several months in a consistent, steady way, if you see what I mean. Equally, however, if you've got a different type of business, say a retreats business, where you're likely to have a block of activity to be able to sell what is coming up imminently, and then you deliver, and then you're probably going to have a break, and then you probably need to repeat the process that you did to get people into the next course that you run. So lots of ways of doing it, and there really are. I don't think we should be just looking for someone with the biggest voice to follow somebody else's sales system. There's lots of ways to do it. We need to play to our strengths with our sales system too, but we need to find a way that we can be consistent with it, so that it actually works. But it needs to be a system. The emphasis here is not on the word sales, but a system, a set way of converting some interest and intrigue into genuine stepping forward, clicking and saying, yes, I'm interested, to helping someone to reach the point where they go, yeah, this is absolutely what I want to do, to paying for it. In fact, if we sit it all the way through, paying for it and proactively telling others to do the same, a referral system too. Let's move to number 10. Define your messaging, your call to action, and the structure of your website to do this. What I mean by that is the messaging that we just talked through needs to now probably appear on a website, on a squeeze page, on a sales page, so that people can quickly get clarity as to what you do, be clear on the outcomes you therefore enable people to achieve, and the process more or less that you do to be able to help people to do that. And they need to look through that or read through that and feel that this is for them. There needs to be a clear call to action. If you have too many call to actions, let's just clear on me my call to action. There's our formal ones, our intended ones, which is a button that says click here for some download, or a button that says click here to book an appointment, or a button that says click here to book your free trial fortnight. That's a call to action, that's an intended call to action. But there's other call to actions that can get jumbled up. For example, if you've got 5 tabs on your website, about me, a contact us, a blog, and some other bits and pieces on there, they all clutter the environment, because if someone now is in the top third of your website and they've got at least one of 5 or 6 tabs they could click, there's also your main call to action button, but it's not very big and it's not very clear that's the one you really want them to click. And there's also a couple of other things on there. Maybe you've got a couple of other buttons on there. You can end up having someone be indecisive, click on the wrong thing really, and get lost in what they were there for in the first place. So it's getting clear what your primary call to action is. You might have a secondary call to action, meaning if they're not ready to take your primary call to action, the big ass thing you want to do, at least make it clear this is a nice second best, because it's going to probably get their email address so you can communicate with them. Probably if you're going to have other tabs on your website, my preference is always one that scrolls down and it's more of a sales page. It leads you from the top to the bottom, and the bottom you want to take action, and it's the right action. But if you want to have several pages, probably have those tabs and those buttons more towards the bottom of the site, as if once someone's actually had the chance to go from top to bottom and not click on anything else to get lost, and they've therefore got your message from top to bottom, which is laid out in a way for them to logically have some aha moments, you can then by all means let them see some of the content on your site. But we need to do this. A web designer is not going to do this for you. A web designer is going to make it look pretty. Your job is to make sure it's effective. 11, write your email campaigns. You're probably going to have people, once they click, they're going to receive an email or several emails, and they need to be considered, they need to be written. The subject line is really important. The PS is really important. The way you lay out the content and what your message is in there is really important. Typically people would have 2 or 3 emails of just content and nice stuff, and then maybe an email of more of a sales focus. So someone gets an email, that was nice to get, an email, that's nice to get, and then an email which is this is what you need to do now to get the result that you haven't achieved yet. And that would be a way to set up an autoresponder. There's lots of ways of doing this. You can have systems that incorporate everything in one, like ClickFunnels. You can add on Aweber or MailChimp or Constant Contact or something to a regular website. So there's several ways of doing this. We just got to do it. Because 12, develop your management systems. This is my last step really. 12 is your management systems, which is how you're going to control and manage your schedule, your finance. How are you going to know how many sessions someone's had? How are you going to know what your income is for your different products? How are you going to make sure you invoice easily and smoothly? It's such a mess, or it can become such a mess, if you don't take care of this at the beginning. And there's some really great add-ons now that you can put into websites and client management systems that suit. You've just got to know which one suits you, and the only way you know which one suits you, I'm afraid, is going back to steps 1, 2 and 3, which were really about, well, the first 2 steps really. What do you want to earn? How do you want your life to be? What's the business model that will provide that? And that's the way to do this. Now, I'm hoping this is making some sense, because these are like steps. And if we were talking, I don't know, weight loss with a client, you've probably got very similar steps. Let me just give you an example. I'll do 12 more steps really quickly, but now this is probably more the steps that you probably have laid out or something similar for your clients. 1, define what you want in terms of your health, weight and fitness. That someone needs to go through that process at some point for them to be on fire and driving toward an end result, for you to have any hope in the way of selling in the first place, but particularly of getting them to be driven towards a certain end. 2, identify what most holds them back, i.e. what stops them from achieving what they say they want at the moment. So again, we can get clarity as to what this journey is going to involve. 3, clarify why this is important now. Now, those 3 steps, are really important, aren't they? Define what it is that your client needs to define what it is they want from their health, fitness, and well-being and weight. Identify what most holds them back at the moment, and therefore what they need to do to move forwards. 3, then we clarify why this is important now. What is it that's brought them to this point today? We then go through something like 4, we need to do some resistance training and probably some high intensity cardio work twice a week to raise metabolic rate. 5, we probably need to complete some longer duration exercise, i.e. cardio or active daily living, including anything from doing yoga, doing different exercise classes, taking up a sport, doing more walking, to remain active on the other days of the week that we're not doing training, i.e. resistance training or high intensity cardio work. 6, we need to control our carbohydrate intake and choose wherever we can lower GI sources, i.e. less processed choices. 7, ensure adequate protein. This is important for obviously muscle growth and repair, satiety, fullness, and optimal metabolic rate. 8, eat fat to lose fat, particularly omega-3s in the form of fish, nuts, olive oil, avocado even. Maybe consider a pharmaceutical standard fish oil if in doubt. 9 in your 12 steps might be something like stay hydrated to ensure all chemical reactions in the body work optimally for good health, as well as again to boost metabolic rate. 10, find ways to manage and reduce stress, including using exercise, meditation, talking with others wherever you can, and trying to find ways to relax. 11 might be just to get enough sleep, getting up to bed early, avoiding social media just before bedtime, avoiding having your phone by your bed, those sort of things, so that someone is also getting enough sleep for good health. So number 12, you can teach clients to think progress, not perfection, to identify and celebrate daily wins, to allow themselves the 80-20 rule perhaps, i.e. to be focused and disciplined for 80% of the time, but allow themselves to eat what they want, for example, for 20% of the time. So I can tell you what 12 key steps might be to grow a business, like I've done, and you can talk through and plan for your clients 12 kind of steps how to lose weight, for example. It's not the steps that's key. Information is cheap today. It's, as you understand as being a coach and a trainer, it's the role that you have to support people through those steps. It's the role that you have to help someone to select which bits are most relevant to them to personalize these steps to them, for them to be able to get the great result that they really want. You have this constant role to be able to help people to take different courses of action, to change their behaviors, to change their attitudes sometimes, to become more resourceful, to create the right mindset, and for them to work with you through those principal steps that you've obviously created. And the same is obviously true for me, for you, that I can tell you these steps and I can talk through marketing and sales and different ways you can create your products. It's not necessarily as simple as it is, it's not easy. And that's why I think that we need a coach too. I just believe we do. I believe everybody does. And I've spent a lot of time putting together my 7-day retreats, which is my big thing that I'm really looking forward to taking me through the next decade or so of my life. And I'd love you to look at these retreats with a great eye for how important they could be to help you to be as successful as I think you could be. And I've taken on lots of coaching and lots of guidance and mentoring in the past. Most notably probably was Michael Gerber's The E-Myth. When I read that book, I got the audio discs that go with it, and I listened to those many times in the car when I was commuting from Cornwall up to Shropshire. And then I invested in the program, which was actually fortnightly over a year. It was £15,000 investment, to have a coach, a business coach, to work with me to create systems and to learn about different elements of business that was new or was rusty or was non-existent, in me. And it's powerful. We know it's powerful that if we're going to grow our business, we know that we've got to grow with it. We can't grow a business and we be stuck behind. Our business is but a reflection of ourselves, and therefore if a business is not working the way we want it, it's because we're not, and we can't expect to have this glowing business with its business owner not optimally performing inside in terms of their mindset and drive and enthusiasm and the way they're shaping things, which is why I think it's important for us to take on that support too. For you, of course, I've created the 7-day retreat to get you away and to help you to focus on building an absolutely unstoppable business with me. Perhaps that's my cue to talk about how they work. So let's look at what's involved in my 7-day retreats and 90-day mentoring process that follows. The first obvious key feature is it helps you to get away, away from your business, away from distractions, away from social media and that comparison that's constantly there and the confusion I think that it offers at times. But importantly, I suppose, to be with others, similarly minded people on the same journey as you, and of course, with me too. So getting away is the first element that's key with my retreats. It's part of who I am. It's what is seen in all the work that I do, which is to create an environment and to fast track results by providing a process for people to go through and move through much more quickly than if they tried to figure things out in the long term, on their own. The location is perfect. The location is conducive to abundance thinking. I've tried to create something here that's really going to be super positive, that's going to support you, that's going to help you to really focus on the big picture, to get out of the short-term focus I think that we can get trapped in by just looking at the here and now, the here and now, the here and now, and to really build something spectacular. And that's what it's designed to do. It's also an environment to create. It's going to create, first of all, the clarity about the way you want your life to be, like I've discussed, clarity about the income that you wish to make, clarity about the business you need to build to accomplish that, clarity about your messaging, about the positioning that you're going to take up, and of course for you to feel that certainty that I think you need by having that robustness in your approach, to be consistent and to keep changing your mind and stop feeling maybe lost at times, to really come out of this process so clear and ready to drive things forward. It's also a chance to create those products and services, or to redevelop your products and services in conjunction with this new vision that you have for the way you want your life to be and the income that you want to generate, etc. It's the chance to create all that marketing and that sales content and the systems that surround that once and for all, to develop the materials actually there and then that you're going to need to have this robust wow product and this process of engaging with people to get them onto your programs. It's a chance to develop those management systems that are so important, to find the right client management system to plug in that manages this new look business. Once we do this, and it's one big effort, 24/7 for 7 days with the 90-day follow, which I'll talk about shortly, at the end of it though, business is so much easier, so much more enjoyable, which is why it's worth it. I'm big into mindset, so we also have a large part of the time that we are together doing exercises and some structured activities to prepare your mindset. Now I know you're already probably very positive and it's probably in great shape. It's just most of us nevertheless have some limiting beliefs, some stumbling blocks, and we're not always with other like-minded people. It can be lonely, running business on your own. So it's a real good chance to really drive that element of ourselves. You see, our business is but a reflection of ourselves. That if we expect our business to grow, we must grow with it. We can't expect to grow our income and for us to stay exactly the same. That it's important for us to engage in that personal development and to do that mindset work, and this 7 days is full of it. It's full of opportunity for great self-development, for you to be that person that is the owner of this more robust business that is in your very near future. You will leave 100% confident with the certainty that you need to have in yourself. You've heard me say my certainty is far greater than your doubt. It really is. And this 7 days and the mindset part of this course enables this. I'd like to say it's also got a great leader. Gosh, that's me. Where I have been around for a long time now. My own business, as I've put on my website, has turned over more than £10 million in the last 10 years. It has created roughly thereabouts £500 million in trainer income generation, over the last 12 years. And roughly the graduates that I've had the chance to be involved with, around about £5 million in weight loss around the world. So it's something that I've done for a long time. There are many different ways to run your business. I don't just get behind one, as in the one fitness business that I've had, and then say everybody needs to do it like the one way that I've done it. I've had lots and lots of different people create lots and lots of different ways to create lots of different versions of success, and therefore my skill set and the focus for the way that I do things is for you to create your blueprint rather than trying to copy someone else's. And the reason for this is I think it is much better for sustainability. I think it's much better for personal development. I think it's much better, although harder, to actually create your own, for you to really feel that you own a business that serves you. Of course, the small group nature of what I do is tremendous. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to inspire you again, to support you, and to really have an impact in a really positive way, and for us to continue that, of course, afterwards, which is why I believe 7 days is not too short, but not too long to really get what we need done. But then the 90-day program that follows, which is included, of course, in the investment, is a mentoring program where we're going to meet 3 times a month, plus the daily emails or the regular emails that will be exchanged, to really see things through, to really ensure that you drive your business. And I think 3 months is enough time to get a tremendous result, because it's that tremendous result that will then continue to drive you, I think, thereafter. Now, I am absolutely certain that you will accomplish what you want in the 97 days. You will accomplish the lifestyle and the income that you most desire, or I will continue to work with you for free until you do. This is an investment, and it's one that I know that you will get incredible return on. But for me to be that short, of course, it means I need to work with the right people, and equally you need to make sure that this is the right thing and I am the right person for you, which is why I think it's really important, if you are ambitious and you really want to get your business the way you want it, and you really can see that getting some support and help just as you coach your clients so that you feel that this could really benefit you, it's important to book in for that complimentary coaching call, because that coaching call is designed to first of all talk about your actual goals and your dreams and your current business and challenges, whatever it is that's relevant, so that we understand where you're at and where you may be trying to move things towards, that you can get really clear on how this program works and how I can help you, and I can really ascertain whether you're someone that I can also work with well, so that I can ensure that you accomplish what I believe you can accomplish in the 97 days. That's how it works, which is why I just hope that you're booking for that coaching call. I hope this has really helped, and I look forward to talking to you on Skype, seeing you on retreat, I hope, supporting you through the 90-day follow-up very, very soon.